Welcome everyone. If you are watching this, it means there is a part of you that keeps stalling every time you try to level up in English. You have spent nights replaying lessons, felt embarrassed in conversations, and promised yourself you would be different next week. It is not your fault. The way we are taught and the ways we try to learn are often set up to make practice feel impossible. Today, I will give you a clear map, a set of practical habits, and a 20-hour jumpstart that actually creates progress you can see and feel. Stay with me until the end and you will walk away with an actionable plan you can start using tonight. Nothing mystical here, just evidence-backed techniques, 2 quick stories of real people who did this, and a simple challenge that will change how you approach learning forever. Let's begin by deciding exactly what you want to be able to do in English. You might have heard that some people are simply natural at languages. That myth steals motivation and makes you think effort will never pay off. The truth is that talent gets you small wins. Method multiplies effort into results. I will show methods supported by researchers like Anders Ericsson and by practical authors like James Clear. I will tell you what Emma did in 6 weeks and why her approach worked. By the time you finish this video, you will have a step-by-step map that focuses on what matters most and strips away the noise. You will understand why small, targeted practice beats long, unfocused repetition, and why 10,000 hours is a myth for beginners who want usable skills fast. Now picture a tree. At the top, you see a fluent conversation. We are going to map the trunk and branches down to the exact twigs you need to practice first. First, choose a vivid, specific outcome. Say you want to hold a 5-minute conversation about your job without translating in your head. Second, break that goal into subskills. You will not learn everything at once. Third, make practice visible and timed. Fourth, create fast feedback loops. These 4 foundations are the bedrock. I will walk through each of them with examples, small exercises you can do in the next hour, and a short scene where Emma and her friends confront the exact obstacles you have felt. Emma grew up in a small apartment where the sound of her mother humming old radio songs mixed with the click of a sewing machine. As a child, she loved reading the backs of cereal boxes, memorizing words with the smell of cinnamon in the kitchen. She studied literature at university, but she never felt confident speaking. For a long time, she listened more than she spoke. Later, she moved to a noisy shared flat where the clatter of dishes and the hiss of a kettle became the background to late-night podcasts. At 31, she decided that knowing English would change her career. She committed to learning out loud, to making mistakes in public, and to building a practice she could fit into everyday life. That history matters because it explains why Emma values clear goals and tiny wins. Her story is not unique. It is useful because it shows how someone who felt shy and slow can build predictable momentum. First step is clarity. Ask one question and answer it in a sentence. What exactly does fluent mean for you? Do you want to lead a meeting, travel, or pass an exam? Imagine the scene. Visualize the room, the light, the way your hands move. Sensory details matter because they make your goal tangible. If you want to order coffee without fumbling, picture the steam, the menu, the texture of the cup in your hand. This clarity immediately reduces the overwhelming feeling that learning is infinite. Alex, a friend of Emma, wanted to give a 20-minute presentation in English. Priya needed to chat with clients on the phone without looking at notes. Marcus wanted to sing an English song at a wedding. Each of them started with a single concrete scene. Second step is decompose like a tree. Take that scene and split it into tiny skills. For the presentation scene, that might be opening lines, common Q&A, 3 transition phrases, and 10 technical terms you must pronounce clearly. For phone calls, break it into greeting, asking for clarification, and closing. For singing, it is breath control, pronunciation of vowels, and timing. Emma took her 5-minute conversation goal and wrote 12 micro skills on sticky notes. She taped them to the mirror and practiced one tiny skill per day. You can feel the surface of the sticky note under your fingers, smell the marker ink, see the notes flutter when the window opens. Those tactile details anchor practice to routine. Third step is immediate feedback. Practice without feedback is like walking in fog. You need someone or something to reflect back what you do. Use a friend, a tutor, a recording app, or a mirror. Liam, who works as a developer, recorded short voice memos and compared them to native clips. He noticed a rhythm mismatch and adjusted stress patterns. Dr. Chen, a phonetics coach, whispered corrections that stuck because they were precise. Feedback can be as simple as noting 3 errors after a 5-minute speaking run and fixing the top one on the next try. The quicker the feedback, the faster your brain rewires. Fourth step is block practice with intention. Not all practice is equal. Passive listening is useful for exposure but ineffective for skill building. Deliberate practice targets just outside your comfort zone. Create small, timed sessions of focused work where you practice only one micro skill. Emma used 20-minute focused blocks 3 times a day. In one block, she repeated phone greetings until her mouth felt natural saying them. In another, she read 1 paragraph and forced herself to paraphrase it aloud. You should feel a small amount of strain, like the muscles that protest when you start lifting weights. That tension is your brain learning. Use a timer and keep the sessions short. Now watch this short scene. Emma sits at a kitchen table with her friend Sophia and her phone. The kettle hums softly. Emma says, "I want to be able to talk about my work." Sophia smiles and replies, "What part is hardest for you now?" Emma hesitates, then says, "I freeze on the technical words." Sophia asks, "Which words?" Emma lists 3 terms. Sophia says, "Say them out loud now." Emma repeats one and falters. Sophia corrects the stress and says, "Try it with this rhythm." Emma mimics and laughs. Sophia says, "Now say it as if you are telling a colleague a story." Emma tries and the sentence comes smoother. They high-five. The conversation includes at least 5 exchanges where correction and mimicry happen quickly. You can hear the clink of a spoon, the low thump of a nearby door, the faint perfume of coffee. Those sensory threads make the moment real and teachable. Fifth, embrace the 20-hour jumpstart. You do not need 10,000 hours to get usable ability. You need structured hours focused on the right tasks. Decide on 20 hours broken into short daily sessions. Schedule them like appointments that cannot be skipped. Rosa, a content manager, did 20 hours to go from terrified to conversational on customer calls. She used a simple tracker, checked off each block, and rewarded herself with a walk after 3 successful days. That immediate reward loops your motivation into habit. Sixth, create micro-habits and anchors. Attach a tiny practice to an existing routine. For example, practice 5 target sentences every time you brew coffee. Every time your kettle whistles, you do 2 minutes of shadowing. The consistency matters more than intensity. Noah, a graduate student, used his commute to practice shadowing. He would touch his phone case to signal a practice block, feel the fabric under his thumb, and recite 1 script. Over weeks, those touches became conditioned cues. Seventh, use the Feynman approach to deepen memory. Teach the phrase or grammar point to an imagined listener. Explain it in simple words out loud, noting where your explanation falters. That falter reveals gaps you need to target. Emma taught her roommate Maria how to ask for clarification on the phone. Maria then corrected Emma on intonation and rhythm. Teaching forces clarity. Eighth, build fast prototypes for performance. Record a 2-minute video of yourself giving the opening of your presentation. Watch it. Note 3 improvement points. Fix one, record again. This loop of prototype, feedback, iterate is what engineers call build, measure, learn. It works in language too. Ninth, cut out multitasking. Deep work is a muscle. When you practice, close tabs, silence notifications, and feel the stillness of the room. The silence helps your ears tune to subtle differences. Dr. Chen told Emma, If the room is noisy, you are practicing distraction. We practiced in a room that smelled like lemon cleaner and felt cool to the skin. Those details make deep work sticky. 10th, move identity first. Begin by saying, I am a speaker, not I will speak someday. Labels shape behavior. James Clear would say, identity-aligned habits create lasting change. Choose a label and act in small, consistent ways that conform it. 11th, chunk and spiral. Learn in chunks, but revisit them in a spiraling schedule. Practice a chunk today, another tomorrow, and revisit the first on day 3. This mixing prevents brittle learning. Alex, Priya, Marcus, Liam, Rosa, and Noah used spaced mixing to retain more in less time. 12th, track progress publicly. Keep a progress folder with recordings and notes. Share brief clips in a group or a comment thread. Public commitment increases follow-through. Post once a week and watch how social feedback adds fuel. 13th, celebrate micro wins. After a successful 5-minute conversation, mark it. Savor the sound of your voice, the texture of the table under your palm, the taste of tea you drink afterward. Small rewards amplify dopamine and encourage repetition. 14th, design a maintenance ritual. After 20 hours, switch to deliberate maintenance. Twice a week, do focused blocks to keep the gains alive. Treat fluency like a garden. You prune, water, and protect. Now, pause for a moment. I know it is tempting to feel skeptical. You might think you have tried similar plans before and failed. That is a fair fear. We all have one. But here is a simple experiment I want you to try, and then tell me in the comments. For the next 3 days, choose one micro skill. Practice it in 2 focused blocks of 20 minutes each day. Record a short voice note at the end of each block. At the end of day 3, post a single word in the comments naming the skill you practiced. If you are shy, type an emoji instead. This is not a test. It is a shared experiment. Your one word or emoji will help others see the variety of goals and may inspire someone who thought they were alone. I will personally read the comments and pick a few to feature in future videos, so we can build a small community that practices out loud together. Leave your one word now and trust that small, consistent effort creates momentum. After you comment, come back and finish the next section, where I give you exact templates and micro exercises you can do in the next 60 minutes. We need 2 moments of tension here to make the learning arc real. First tension moment. Emma had a day where she froze during a short interview. She remembers her palms sweating against the cold glass of a cafe mug, the metallic taste in her mouth, the interviewer asking a simple question, and her mind blanking. The memory feels immediate and sharp. She had to choose between quitting or forcing one more deliberate block that night. She chose to stay and practice until her mouth could form the sentence without thinking. The decision was painful but decisive. That memory created internal friction that later became fuel. Second tension moment. During a mock presentation, the projector failed. Marcus watched his slides go black, felt the hum of the room shrink to a decimal point, and heard his heartbeat like a drum. He had 2 choices: retrace every scripted line or improvise and anchor on a single transition phrase. He breathed, tasted the cold air, and used a simple phrase to bridge. The room responded. The tension taught him to prepare for failure and to practice scaffolds that save performance under stress. Now some concrete micro exercises you can do in the next hour. First exercise is shadowing. Pick a 1-minute clip of a native speaker and speak exactly with them. Feel your throat vibrate, your breath timing, the roughness of consonants on your teeth. Second exercise is targeted phrase drilling. Write 10 phrases you will need in your goal scene. Say each phrase 10 times with intentional stress. Third exercise is teach back. Explain one phrase to an imaginary listener and record it. Fourth exercise is immediate correction. Play back your recording, pick one error, and correct it in 5 repetitions. Tools that help include a simple voice recorder, a timer app, a notebook, or a digital progress folder, and a buddy for feedback. Use a tiny checklist that you mark with a pen. Physical marks matter because they create tactile satisfaction. The pen scratching paper, the small scratch sound, the visual tick of completion are all sensory triggers that cement the habit. Remember to use feedback that is precise. Generic feedback like "good job" is less useful than specific notes such as "drop the final consonant less," "move the stress earlier," or use a shorter pause. When possible, get feedback from someone who knows your goal context. If you want to speak in meetings, get feedback from a colleague. If you want to pass an exam, work with someone who has passed it. A short practical calendar for the first 20 hours looks like this. Week 1, 10 focused sessions of 20 minutes mastering 5 micro skills. Week 2, 10 sessions of 20 minutes mixing chunks and doing prototypes. Each week add 1 public share and 1 teach back. After 20 hours, evaluate with a short task that approximates your goal. The evaluation is the proof of progress. Use it to plan the next cycle. Before I close, I want you to notice one thing. Learning fast is not magic, it is scaffolding. It is the careful arrangement of clarity, micro-practice, immediate feedback, identity, and small public commitments. Emma did this with patience and repetition. Alex, Priya, Marcus, Liam, Rosa, Noah, and Sophia became everyday examples of how tiny, consistent steps beat sporadic effort. Anders Ericsson reminds us that deliberate practice shapes skill. James Clear reminds us that small habits change identity. Feynman reminds us that teaching reveals knowledge gaps. Combine these lessons and you have a playbook. In the next 24 hours, do this. Choose 1 micro skill. Block out 3 20-minute sessions. Use a recorder and get 1 person to listen or 1 recording to compare. Comment below with 1 word describing the skill you chose. Share 1 short clip if you feel brave. Join the conversation so we can build momentum together. If you want more templates for specific goals like presentations, travel conversations, or job interviews, tell me which one in the comments and I will make a follow-up. You are not broken. You just need a different map. Start now, not later. You will be surprised at how far 20 hours will take you. Subscribe and join our community to keep going together.